they find. Some people get lost and they find that place. So I know from experience being there, so I know how to get out of it. So when I see other people in that hole, I know how to get in that hole and help you find out of it. So that's been my kind of thing lately. I'm really into technology, so if you ever see me, come talk to me. I have drones, really small ones. They don't do anything harmful. They light up. And I've really like using those with disabled, autistic children. They really engage with it. They're usually frustrated in their own bodies and minds, trying to work everything out. But then when I fly a little drone around with LED lights, it takes them away. It's really easy to engage with a flying object. It makes audible sound, and yeah, I flip it around. It's a really magical thing to finally, like, again, rescue and just give them a little bit of relief, away from their own inner struggle. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. So, yeah, that's it. I'm Brian, by the way.
Hi, I'm Heidi. I've literally just sat down. I might need a 2-second debrief on what I'm doing with the mic here. Great. Okay, cool.
So we can help each other.
Great. So, I guess what I try to offer in my life is I'm lucky enough to get to work doing what I love for a living, which is writing about personality psychology. And I feel like I'm given the opportunity to learn a lot about other people and show them understanding and openness, and in some cases help them understand themselves better and also learn from them. And that's both something I'm able to give back and something that I feel like is constantly being given to me. So I think that's the main thing I'm excited about being able to give right now.
Your name is Heidi. So is my name Heidi.
Oh, beautiful.
That's unusual. But I was at the Rainbow Gathering in Vermont. It was Echo just 10 days ago now. And I found a new name for myself. So I'm going to tell you that name, which is Spiral Danza.
Yeah.
And I'm a dance teacher, a dance movement therapist, and a massage therapist. And my gift is sharing my gift of dance and healing people. I really feel like I love what everybody's saying, and I'm so grateful that we're coming together in circles and spirals, because I don't know a whole lot of exactly about the quantum thing, but I know that I have images, a lot of spirals and circles, and the way that America was founded is they just laid a piece of paper over all the country and broke everything into grids and linear squares, and the rule of America was divide and conquer. And we're still kind of living under that way of thinking with our streets and our towns and our farms and the government and ownership, and it's just a paradigm that still really is ruling us, but that there's a lot of us who are knowing that there's something else, and then it's about trying to figure out how. So my latest understanding is we have starts one person at a time with healing, and one of the ways that I've come to learn to understand about healing is about creating spirals in your own body, and that if you find blocks, whenever you try to create a spiral somewhere, that means that's where you need to do healing. So I've developed this kind of movement. I'm not going to ask you to do it unless you want to, where I just kind of started grounding myself in the earth, and I make spirals here, and then I make spirals here, and then I make spirals here, and then I do it like this. And it's just like it feels really like I get transferred to a different pool.
Stay with us.
Woo! I'm bringing you there with me. Here we go.
Spiral dancer.
Ow!
Yeah.
I gotta go to bed so bad. I'll be back.
Do it both ways. You have to keep it even. So, besides doing that with ourselves personally, which you're welcome to keep doing as I'm talking, I also feel like we need to do that with each other in our communities. And one of the things I recently heard, understood, child, whatever way you want to say it, is that just like the African Americans and somewhat the Native Americans, because they mixed a lot, did when they were under slavery, they created something called the Underground Railroad. white people were involved in it too. Where basically, even though the system was over them, they found a way to create this whole underground railroad, which really was underground, but it was underground the consciousness of what was accepted at the time. So I feel like we have to learn from them and do the same thing. But it's different this time because it's all of us. It's not one color, it's not one sex, not one age, it's all of us. And I have this idea, which I would love to share on your website, where we actually link. It doesn't have to be in a spiral because we're so still gridded with linear ways, but connecting all of the new, progressive, new world, whatever you want to call it, communities. I'm talking about anywhere from a gay nightclub to a Mexican farm workers union to a African American, liberation freedom party like we have in Brooklyn, to a holistic eco village, and everywhere where we are, because there is coming a time, as we all know, when where we're living is not sustainable anymore, and it's gradually happening. I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie that Al Gore put out, where that frog is in the water, and you turn up the heat. You know what I'm talking about? And the frog's like, oh, cool, just swimming in the hot on the water, swimming here, and I'll just swim, and it's kind of warm, but it's okay, I got it. Until finally, the frog doesn't realize it, and it's boiled. It died in the water. That's kind of like what's happening here. That's the best part of the movie for me, the Al Gore said. I don't know if you guys know what movie I'm talking about. Okay.
Inconvenient.
Inconvenient Truth, thank you.
If anyone hasn't seen it, strongly encourage.
It's a great movie, and that image is really pertinent to our times.
The only problem is he was wrong about the trajectory of when that was going to happen by half in the wrong direction for us.
In other words, he was too conservative.
It's happening much sooner than he
Exactly.
thought.
But that's why I said the best part of the movie was the image of the frog. Because it's not when it's happening, it's that it's happening. And that we are all kind of those frogs, not saying me and you, but every one of us. So it's like, if we really recognize the urgency in that kind of warm to hot boiling pot and create this, that's the only way I see that we can really kind of create the new world. And I'm totally open to hearing other people's inspirations. But if there's anybody who wants to join me on creating that networking thing, or like I said with your thing, I'm at least right now calling it the Rainbow Spiral Underground Railroad.
Hi, I'm Matt. I'm gonna assume it's weird. Or since Spiral Dancer is so lovely with her other name, I also go by Carabiner sometimes. Oh, I can't even do that. So something you'd like to declare that you're going to do in the next year that you can move forward on, that you want to put forward, I'm going to do this, and we can all see that happen. Cool. So I'm a performer, dancer, and a lot of and I feel like it's a thing that we talk about sometimes about how moving it is for us to perform and like how much we feel something. And I think that it's a big thing that I can give to other people is opening up a space for people, in a very literal space. Running a studio I'm in, and letting people who get trapped in their normal world perform. Because once you realize what performing is, you realize you're performing all the time, and then you can stop performing. Yeah, I didn't realize until just now it's something I want to do. I want to say thank you to all you guys. Like, festivals like these make me feel like I can be who I am, and also realize I don't know who I am, and it's good to be home with family.
Thank you so much, everybody. I want you to respond to and find the people who planted some seeds that you'd like to water or put some sunshine on. And I'd like to invite just a little bit of feedback on a couple things here. When the Buddha spoke, the Buddha is just a teacher, and each of us have Buddha nature, so we each have Christ consciousness or the ability to be a teacher or guru. And there was the notion of Sangha, that I've found my people, that I've found my tribe, and that ignites so much. I mean, our sister was talking beforehand, before I started, about going around the country with a permaculture action tour, that it just took that little bit of sangha, that little bit of community, that little bit of family, to say, we're going to do this together. So it's the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And the Dharma is just the teachings, it's the practices, it's the what we remind ourselves here in this space, that it's not just that one week a year, but it's 52 weeks a year. Like I was just a rainbow gathering. I've been calling for permanent rainbow gatherings since I came there. And it's the adhocracy. It's that we can take a minute in any place that we are and form a circle and share our heart space. We're out of the defenses. We're not trying to prove something or take something. And that is where we're transforming and co-creating. And there's a certain level of inevitable transformation that you're surrendering yourself into it. And so there's a certain, I guess I wanted to really invite the word of skillful means. When the Buddha spoke, we each heard it in their own tongue. So the lessons that we're hearing maybe through, gorgeous women deciding to be fully expressed and free, or whether it's the lighting or the drones or the technology, or whether it's the healers and the people, that these are the seeds of paradise, that we can plant these seeds in our lives throughout our entire precious human fleeting existence, that we decided to show up. We're here at this moment. And so it's not that I know who I am and I'm going to go, it's that you're going to find out who you are by coming here and being in family and being transformed in this crucible together. And so there's a deepening that happens when we stay fully present to our own heart, and when we can extend that space. The magnetic field of the heart is 3 times larger than the mind anyway. And when we realize that we're actually in this huge tree of life, that we're actually this gargantuan Venn diagram, and it's when we use our skillful means. We put it into soccer mommies or redneckese or corporatese or legalese. As Heidi was saying, we have to learn to navigate and coexist with the system that we are replacing. It's an alternative distribution of truth, of love, of the real currencies that are not necessarily as quantifiable. And we are now at a point where, with information technology, with every secret book, every esoteric tradition, every level of self-liberation, every tradition, those secret books that used to study for 20 years and maybe you get a glimpse at one page, or someone who actually knew how to read, because only 1% of the population would learn how to read. All of these things are available. And so there's this sort of, and this is another symptom of what I've been calling the compost modern age. That we have a data overload and a surfeit, a lack, a thirst for knowledge, for shared wisdom, for sharing the spark, for someone saying, here's what it takes to run a shop. I'm gonna, artisanship, apprenticeship. It's intergenerational, and I think of it as a return to the goddess, but it's a return to the receptive, or the constant student within each of us. And so Dharma, or the teaching, is a constant practice, and we're constantly rediscovering it. And it's also a matter of being of practice. So when we're practicing, we're here, we're reminding, we're celebrating together, but it's only good for you if it's there when you need it. It's when, someone died, or I'm freaking out, or whatever it is, that you're able to use your practice, your yidam, your guru, your breath, and return and restore to your truth, and be able to voice from a place of strength, here's where I'm at, I need help, I want someone to help me with this, I need someone to shine some light and reflect. We're not isolated, that's an illusion, and it's a sickness. And it's people here, it's people who are able to maintain eye contact, heart contact, and take it into the world, that we give permission, we allow others to demonstrate and see that it's okay to share space, to share the portals of the eyes, the heart, to another world with another. And that is the seed planting that we're able to do year round. So I want to invite people, there's a plant walk happening, I hope to be on that. There's going to be amazing workshops here all day. Evan is here, yeah? You're Evan, yeah, you're coming next. And
actually, no, I'm not.
Oh, Evan Sky.
Another Evan.
Yeah, Evan Skytree is here. Is Evan here, the next workshop presenter? Supposed to be Evan after me. Is the Skytree somebody? So great, perfect. So I think we can. If Evan's not here, then we'll just go to the next person. And I wanted to go around a little bit. One last couple of things of announcements. Basically, we're taking this energy that we've formed here, and I'd like to actually make hold hands and make a heart-shaped circle in a moment. But I want to make one quick chance for announcements. So there's the DNC, the Democratic National Convention's happening. #See you in Philly. Something's going to happen. We could have another discussion about that sometime outside of this space. But then the next weekend is what's an extension of Burning Man. It's Burnstock Summit. It's at Ricky's Farm on the New Jersey-New York border. So BERN, Burnstock Summit, is happening in 2 weeks. And I'm inviting all of you to come and to plant seeds and to basically, how do we declare without the hubris or the white privilege or the male whatever it is, or we're all recovering from the colonial nightmare. There is no planet B. We all live downstream. And for us to, with confidence, not some secret, but an open secret, that we are declaring that the paradigm shifted, that we are the ones we've been waiting for, that we are together modeling that constant transformation, which is beyond the old world of I can prove you wrong and poke a hole in it, or the old false dichotomies that keep us away. Those are part of the postmodern age, where we've been confused and we don't just have radical acceptance and acknowledge that we're all part of it. We're all creating the soil. We're all sharing the air. So I invite you all to that. ARC 38 ARC, Autonomous Resilient Community, is 188 acres upstate. We've been an instance of best practices. We're trying to model an alternative currency. Ethereum, as in, let's do a quick round of the breaths. So in through the nose, out through the nose. That's the earth, feel the earth. Yes, bless the bones, in through the nose, out through the nose. Bones, the heaviness, the strength. Thank you, Mother Earth. Feel the root of the sacrum sink to the bottom of the earth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Bless the water. We're mostly water. Bless the water. In through the nose, above the body, like a waterfall, cascade in and through. Rinse the body, release. Supercharge. All these waters, inside, outside. Reverse the flow, in through the mouth, out through the nose. Feel the fire. In through the mouth. Bring the sacrum energy up to the heart. Golden light, out through the nose. Refined energy. Sharing that light with each other. You're never going to run out. You can smile, and there'll be another smile later. You can maintain eye contact. You can love. You can show that you need a massage. You can ask if it's okay. You can practice consensual culture with joy and compassion and wisdom. In through the mouth, the fire. Out through the nose. Fill the body with light. Feel the light pouring out your ears, your nipples, your eyes, your fingertips. Sacred gateways. Living light. In and out through the mouth. Light and easy like a cloud. All you need is air. Feel that vacancy, the openness inside of us. A tree that connects us all. An inverted fractal that reaches in. Spreads through, kisses every capillary in your whole body. Trillions of cells getting that kiss of the outside shared world through your breath. The fulcrum of the heart, the inside world and the outside world are met. Expire, leave nothing behind. Inspire, be reborn completely. This is the inspiration conspiracy. Lick your lips, breathe evenly through the nose and the mouth, both. This is the ether breath. All those elements, the wisdom, the power, the specificity of the strength, the fluidity, the flame, the openness, the connectives, all of those are there in the ether. Feel the evenness, feel the spaces between the spaces. Realize that it's already accomplished and that it's going to be a lot of fun planting those seeds and finding people to work your garden and finding the economy, the living numbers, the world that's going to sustain you. What do you want to eat next year and the year after that? The orchard that you're going to be planting with your neighbors, the traveling you're going to do that's going to allow your